And for a lot of you, they probably won't work either. Why? Because there's so much nuance that isn't talked about, but I want to talk about it in today's video. Hi everybody. For those of you that don't know, my name is Amanda. I am doing the carnivore diet for weight loss, autoimmune issues. I reversed my type 2 diabetes already, and now I have lost over 110 pounds doing it. This was actually not the video I was going to do today. It was a different one, but I felt very passionate about it, so I wanted to talk about this today. I did a video on Friday talking about my carnivore stall and how I finally have gotten out of it. I mentioned a few different things, and hot topic, which I knew it kind of would be, was me mentioning calories. I want to talk about it, I want to clarify, and I want to talk about a few other things because I have gotten so many comments from people who are confused that someone says this or that and this, and it's all conflicting, and I want to clarify my position on this. First, let's talk about calories. Now, when I say calories, I do not mean calories in, calories out. I explicitly state calories are inaccurate. However, they are the only unit of metric we have to track energy consumption. That's it. Calories in, calories out states for every calorie in, you should be able to get the same calorie out via exercise or movement. I do not believe that. Calories are only one variable of a 3-variable equation. In humans, we use mechanical, thermal, and chemical energy. Calories only account for thermal energy, so it's only one variable out of a 3-variable equation, okay? But again, we have no other way to count energy consumption. Also, and this is a basic law of the universe, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it can only change form. Whether it's fat, carbs, sugar, or protein, they are all a form of energy. They all have other uses, like protein builds into amino acids for the body and various things. I'm only talking about energy in the very moment. We're not going to get into that because it's way too detailed and nuanced. But what my point is when I say calories, I'm only talking about the unit of measurement, not I ate 5 cookies and I'm going to go get on the elliptical and go burn the 5 cookies off. Again, that does not work. That also leads to very diet thinking where I have to obsess about what I'm eating. Right now, I eat 1,500 to 1,800 calories. I eat about 100 to 150 grams of fat and about 100 grams of protein, and it varies a little bit each day to day within my 1,500 to 1,800 calorie window. Now, your question is, why do I do this? Because I was stalled for almost 9 months. I tried everything that was out there. I tried eating butter. I tried eating until I was stuffed. I tried so many different things, but they don't work for me. And for a lot of you, they probably won't work either. Why? Because there's so much nuance that isn't talked about, but I want to talk about it in today's video. Now, I still haven't addressed why I do the calories, and I don't do calorie counting, I do calorie measuring. I really don't limit my food intake per se. It's not like I go and scrape off half my plate because it's too many calories. It just gives me a mental and visual amount of, okay, this much food is this much energy, and it makes me think, do I really need that? No, because I still got Bank of Amanda to pull my deposits from. I need enough to get my protein that I want to try to aim for and not feel bad. And that's why I use the calorie counting, but not the calories in, calories out. Here's where the nuance starts. There are so many things that go into telling us when to stop eating. It can be habits, emotional support of eating, how quick we eat, and there's a ton other variables that go into telling us when to stop eating. I eat quickly. It takes about 20 minutes for the stretch receptors in our stomach to say stop eating. So if I eat until I'm stuffed, I have eaten way too much because it only takes me 10 minutes or less to eat. Where my tall, skinny husband behind me, actually he's in front of me, my tall, skinny husband, sometimes it takes him an hour to eat and he doesn't eat that much in that period because his stomach says, hey, I'm full, because he took so long to eat. An example would be short ribs. They are phenomenal if you have not tried them, but they are extremely energy dense. Why? Because they are very, very fatty, but they're very good. I could eat 4 short ribs. That would be almost 2,500 to 3,000 calories in one sitting. That is more than double or close to double of what I would eat an entire day. That doesn't include anything I ate for breakfast or any maybe snacks I had or anything like that. I don't know how much it's pushed now, but there was this big proponent of you can eat as much meat as you want on carnivore. You can eat as much fat as you want on carnivore, as long as you don't have carbohydrates. That is not true. There are many variables that go into the base energy our body uses. Age, gender, genetics, a big one, how much you move around in the day. If you work out, there's so many things that go in. A blanket, if you work out, you eat 2,000 calories. It's a lie, and it actually makes me quite angry. Scott might need 2,000, maybe I need 1,800, I don't know, but it's going to vary, and nobody talks about this, and this is actually what upsets me the most. And then people come and they're so confused. Now, speaking about the eating as much as you want, the way keto, carnivore, and we're talking about weight loss, I'm not talking about anything else, work, is it puts us in ketosis, which streamlines our body's ability to pull fat off our body to get energy. We completely miss the ups and downs that you get from having sugar intake because it's like a constant infusion you need. We don't need that because our body burns ketones now instead of glucose, okay? But I want to clarify, fat is still energy. There's other things it does in the body, and this is where I say people don't explain the nuance. Fat does more than just give us energy. I understand this, but it's too broad or it's too narrow to get down in that, and we'll get stuck in the weeds. But for this sake, we're just talking about the energy part of it. Fat, carbs, sugar, protein, energy. If you eat energy, your body wants to hold on to that because, tomorrow, next week, next month, you might be starving and you need that energy. Our bodies are meant to store energy for rainy days. If you eat energy, a steak, your body doesn't just defecate it out. There might be a little bit, but for the most part, it pulls all of that energy out. If energy can't be created or destroyed, and the adipose tissue, which is the fat in our body, stores energy, this is how we get fat. There are many other ways. There's thyroid dysfunctions, there's tumors, but I'm talking about for most people who do not have illnesses or diseases causing it. I'm talking about those of us that are just overweight. Scott just had like a mic drop moment. If our body defecated out what we didn't need, there would not be a single obese person on this planet. Not everybody has thyroid issues. Not everybody has, thyroid cancer or pituitary gland issues. That is actually on the more rare side. Okay, so I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but most of us just got fat the old natural way of eating too much because I was a binge eater. And I'm not saying that's bad, good, or indifferent, but I got fat because I ate a lot of food because I used food for emotional support. I was reading a comment today, and the person was confused about undereating, confused about how much protein they needed. They were confused about how much fat to have. And this is why I feel very invigorated about this video, is because there used to be the, if you ate too much protein, gluconeogenesis, bad, you get glucose. Now there's, you're not eating enough protein. Then there was, eat sticks of butter a day. And now there's, don't eat butter on your food, you don't need it. And this is what I'm saying. It's like people are just getting ping-ponged back and forth. There is not, and I want to make this very clear, there is not one solution that fits everybody. Me in my 20s versus me in my 70s need very different things. Energy intake, protein amount, fat intake. If someone says, this is, if you're a woman, have this, they're just pulling it out their bum. I hate to admit that, but they are. For protein, what I do is I do 1.5 grams per lean pound of body mass. Take it, leave it. I can't say it's perfect, but it's working fine for me. I feel great. I'm gaining muscle. You might need a little more because I think it suggests up to 1.7 all the way down to 1 depending on where you're at. It's all about experimentation. As far as fat, about 100 grams base is perfect for me. I feel good. I'm not lethargic. I'm losing weight. I'm doing beautifully. There is no one solution for all. And I know it can be easy to fall into the trap of someone says do this and you want to do that because it's easier. But I promise you it is so much more beneficial for yourself and myself that I'm finding is take what information I can for someone, distill it to what helps me, and then set aside everything that doesn't. A lot of information is perfect for people who are metabolically healthy. They want to do carnivore because maybe they just want to feel better. They want to have more energy. Maybe they have 5 or 10 pounds to lose. I find, though, what works for a metabolically healthy person does not work for me. The amount of food to eat, the amount of fat to eat, the amount of protein to eat, the amount of movement to do. Most of this advice doesn't work for me. Me, Amanda, who is a binge eater, that's an overeater, that was 364 pounds, Amanda. Things like how much protein, how much fat, how much energy, how much exercise, I have had to figure out all of those out on myself. Now, I don't want to leave you guys despondent and hopeless and not know where to go. What I suggest, find your lean body mass. Start at like 1.5 grams of protein per pound. If you don't feel great, up it. If you feel great, leave it. If you're like, maybe this is a little too much, go down and see how you feel. As far as fat, for me, 100 grams minimum is perfect. I had to find that by trial and error, okay? There is no magic how many pounds per this for that, okay? I found that that works with me. I do not and no longer add butter to any of my steaks or any of my meats. I choose fattier cuts, which work great, and that does perfect. I do not need all of that excess energy because, again, I have plenty on me that I want to use up. Exercise, it is, again, most of you may know, or some of you don't know, I have 10 years with a background in physical therapy. Do what you can when you can. Don't jump in 2 feet trying to just go and do workout and you have hardly been walking. Start really tiny and grow from there. Really important. And the last part for energy, and there's more nuance that comes with this too. I guesstimated at 1,500 calories and I found I feel amazing at that. 1,500 to 1,800, that is. Okay, some days I've eaten 2,000. Oh well, I'm just trying to keep it slightly down. Some of you might do great at 2,200. This is an experiment, and I truly view it as an experiment of how much I need to eat. On the other side of that coin, you can undereat, okay? How you know you're undereating? You feel bad, you're lethargic, you have no energy, brain fog, all of this happens. If you are there, just eat more. It doesn't mean you need to eat 5,000 more calories, but I will say you can undereat, but you will have symptoms. If you are feeling like you're undereating and you're worried about it, but you feel good, our bodies are so much smarter than today's technology. We have been around for a very long time before calorie counting, carb managing, all of that have ever existed. Our bodies are extremely amazing things. If what we're doing isn't working, it tells us. It tells us through not feeling good. So again, if you are feeling great, don't worry about it. Okay? Same thing with the protein. Some days I get 120 grams. Some days I get 80. I don't stress because I try to average my protein around 100 grams. We don't eat 100 grams and then poop out 100 grams. That's not how it works. About 60% of what we consume, if not more, our body recycles. Okay, so if you don't get all 100 grams, don't fret. It is okay. Tomorrow, just try to get a little bit more. Last thing about the calories again. I am not going to be counting calories my entire life. I am going to do it as long as I feel I need to continue my weight loss. I might do it another 2 months and say, hey, you know what? I visually got this. I don't need to weigh my food anymore and move on from there. I don't want anybody to turn this into an obsession where they're just like, I have to weigh everything. I feel guilty if I don't. No, this is a tool to use to help when we get stuck. If you're a perfect weight, why would you even bother doing it? These are for the people who are struggling or who are stuck with weight loss. Okay, that's all this is for. My autoimmune people, which is part of me, don't even fret about that. Like, this is only talking about if you're stuck or you're not losing weight, how to move forward. And the very last thing, because this comment happened like 3 different times. People saying, if you're doing carnivore right, you don't need to count calories. Unless you've been 364 pounds and a binge eater? Yeah, I do. So if you are like me and you feel any guilt, shame or anything around that and think, well, most people don't count calories on carnivore. Who cares? If it helps you move forward, helps me lose weight, helps you lose weight, and you feel better, don't care about what other people are doing. I know currently I think I'm the only one in the carnivore community talking about this, but let me tell you, it costs you no money to try, just a few weeks of your life, and if it works, beautiful. I appreciate every one of you so very much. I hope for those of you that are struggling, I hope it helps you feel better and clarifies more that I don't want to turn you into like this rat wheel of eat this, go treadmill this. That is not what I'm wanting. I just want you to have some clarification and stop feeling like you're being yo-yoed back and forth with things. Just remember, take what I say with a grain of salt. Try it out. If it works, great. And if it doesn't, do it. I will not pretend to be omnipotent and know everything. But at the same time, no. If someone tries to sell you, this is the answer, I would think twice about that. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I shall talk to you guys next video.